Welcome to Daily Chronicles, your journey through time. Every day carries a story, from world-changing events to moments pop culture will never forget. We uncover the triumphs, tragedies, and turning points that shaped our world. This is Daily Chronicles, where every day tells its tale. Cold air bites at fingertips pressed against concrete as crowds gather along the scarred edge of a divided city, the sound of hammers echoing like distant thunder beneath the glow of streetlights. Excited voices rise and fall, mixing with the clang of metal against stone, as Berliners on both sides of the wall reach toward one another for the first time in decades. The graffitied surface trembles under the blows, flakes of paint drifting down like confetti, as tears stream freely over faces lit by camera flashes. East German border guards watch in stunned silence, their rigid posture softening as the pressure of history overwhelms the old rituals of control. Television reporters jostle for position, microphones trembling in their hands as they narrate the impossible unfolding before them. Chancellor Helmut Kohl moves quickly, recognizing the moment's magnitude, while crowds chant freedom in dozens of languages. People shout the names of loved ones long separated, their voices carried by the crisp night air. Young men climb atop the wall, offering their hands to strangers, and laughter breaks through the tension like the first light of dawn. Across the city, the Brandenburg Gate becomes a beacon of hope, its stone archway glowing beneath floodlights as thousands flood the square surrounding it. Joy mixes with disbelief, and the scent of damp earth rises from the ground as boots and sneakers stamp rhythmically, creating a pulse that stretches from Alexanderplatz to the Kurfürstendamm. A woman in a heavy coat embraces a man she has not seen since childhood, their sobs swallowed by the roar of celebration. West Berlin police, once accustomed to the strict divide, smile and step aside as the tide of humanity surges forward. The wall that once symbolized fear now crumbles beneath the determination of ordinary citizens. Every strike of a hammer, every joyous shout, every cautious step across the threshold carries the weight of generations. In the East, officials scramble for clarity, their authority slipping through their fingers as crowds flow through checkpoints left open and unguarded. In the West, fireworks burst into the sky, sparks reflecting in the wide eyes of children who will grow up without the shadow of concrete cutting their world in two. Hans Dietrich Genscher, standing on a balcony just days earlier, becomes a symbol of change, his voice echoing through the memories of millions. As night deepens, the wall becomes less a barrier and more a gathering place, a stage for reunions and celebrations. People sing, dance, and share bottles of beer passed from hand to hand. The city breathes again, its long, silenced heartbeat quickening with every step as families reunite and strangers embrace. Brick by brick, the symbol of division gives way to the promise of unity. Joy spills into the streets like light after a storm. Berlin awakens, transformed forever, carried forward by the unstoppable force of its people. Hope rises through the cold night as broken barriers fade and voices merge in celebration of freedom reclaimed and destiny rewritten together by all. The soft glow of stage lights bathes the room in warm gold as David Bowie steps forward, the hush of the audience settling around him like a final embrace before a moment they do not yet realize is historic. His presence is magnetic, elegant, unmistakable. The sharp lines of his suit catching the light as he reaches for the microphone with a calm confidence that seems to suspend time. The crowd in New York City's Hammerstein Ballroom holds its breath, leaning into the warmth of his voice as he begins, "Wild is the wind," each note drifting upward like smoke curling from a candle just before it burns out. His voice is tender yet unshakably strong, carrying layers of memory and reinvention, a lifetime of transformation distilled into melody. Musicians behind him watch with reverence, sensing the gravity of every breath he takes, every word he shapes. The room feels intimate despite the crowd, as though Bowie sings directly to each person individually, pulling them into an orbit that has defined generations. When the final notes fade, the applause crashes forward like a wave, engulfing him, rising to the balcony and shaking the walls with gratitude. Without pause, he shifts into fantastic Voyage, his tone lifting, energizing the space with a playful glimmer, reminding the audience of his restless creativity and fearless experimentation. Each beat pulses with the legacy of a man who continually redefined his boundaries, turning music into theater, identity into art, and vulnerability into cosmic spectacle. Fans sway, some in tears, some smiling, all aware they are witnessing something rare, luminous, unforgettable. As the song ends, Bowie steps back for a breath, the stage lights reflecting in his eyes like tiny stars. Then Alicia Keys joins him, her voice blending seamlessly with his as they begin Changes, a duet layered with meaning. Two artists sharing a moment shaped by respect and admiration. Their harmonies rise together, filling the room with a sense of triumph and beauty, a celebration of evolution and rebirth. Bowie's smile softens into something deeper, like quiet satisfaction, as though he knows these will be his final notes sung live on a stage. Around them, cameras flash, capturing fragments of awestruck faces and raised hands reaching toward the music. The air is thick with emotion, joy, nostalgia, wonder, yet beneath it all runs an undercurrent of poignancy, a whisper that transformation is eternal. When the last echo of Changes fades into the rafters, the applause swells into a roar that seems to hold the whole city in its grasp. Bowie bows slightly, elegant and humble, acknowledging the moment but never revealing its significance. The lights dim, leaving only silhouettes and echoes, and the audience spills into the night with hearts full and memories sealed. They leave unaware that this performance will stand as his final one, a closing chapter delivered not with spectacle, but with grace, artistry, and the quiet brilliance that defines him to the end. A legacy shimmering softly in the hush of history, the rustle of popcorn bags and the low murmur of excited whispers fill the dimly lit theater as the lights fade, drawing every eye toward the glowing screen where Wes Craven's vision is about to unfold. A chill dances along the backs of viewers settling into their seats, the smell of butter and soda syrup thick in the air as anticipation curls through the room like fog creeping across a quiet street. The title flickers to life, sharp and foreboding, and the audience leans forward, unaware they are witnessing the birth of a horror legend that will claw its way into cinematic history. Freddy Krueger's shadow begins to take shape, the gleam of razor-tipped gloves reflecting in the eyes of those brave enough to watch. The first scream erupts, slicing through the darkness, followed by gasps and nervous laughter, the kind that covers fear with a thin layer of bravado. Craven's nightmare world spills into the theater, blending dream and reality so seamlessly that viewers toy with the edges of their own imagination, unsure where safety ends and terror begins. Nightmarish sequences pulse with surreal energy, and every jolt of music sends shivers racing across spines. The audience clutches armrests, popcorn forgotten, as the story unfolds with relentless tension. Heather Langenkamp appears on screen as Nancy Thompson, her determination battling the unseen horrors that stalk her in sleep. Robert Englund's Freddy emerges fully formed from the shadows, a villain unlike any before, grotesque, charismatic, horrifyingly playful. His presence draws the audience in with a mix of fascination and dread, a fresh embodiment of cinematic fear. The heat from the projector whirs overhead, the flicker of images shifting rapidly, capturing every grim detail of Elm Street and its creeping terror. Viewers shift uncomfortably in their chairs, checking the corners of the theater as reality and dreamscape blur under Craven's direction. The haunting score swells, its eerie tones echoing like whispers from another realm, sending goosebumps racing down arms. Gasps sync with the timing of each scare, and by the time the climax unfolds, some audience members peek through their fingers, unwilling to fully watch but unable to look away. As the final twist hits and the credits begin to roll, a stunned silence settles over the room. Then applause erupts, half relief, half admiration, for the film that has transformed fear into art with astonishing precision. People rise slowly, eyes wide, hearts still racing, stepping back into the crisp night air where the world feels familiar yet subtly changed. Conversations bubble with energy and uncertainty. Was it real? Could dreams kill? What new doors has Craven opened? Some laugh nervously, others glance over their shoulders, and a few swear they won't sleep easily for days. The premiere leaves them shaken and exhilarated, marking the arrival of a horror masterpiece destined to become a cultural phenomenon. A nightmare has begun, not just on Elm Street, but in the imaginations of everyone who dared to witness its first terrifying breath. Heat shimmers in the air like a restless mirage, carrying the metallic scent of tension as Saddam Hussein steps forward in Baghdad, his voice rising with force that ripples through crowds and corridors of power alike, declaring a holy war against Iran in a moment that crackles with ambition and defiance, each syllable ringing with the weight of history and the heavy pulse of regional rivalries that have long simmered beneath the surface of shifting sands and political lines drawn and redrawn through generations of upheaval and uneasy ceasefires. The atmosphere thickens as advisors lean toward radios and grainy monitors, their ears straining for every nuance in the declaration that signals a turning point not just for two nations, but for an entire region already bruised by power struggles and ideological divides. Soldiers feel the vibration of the moment in their chests, hands tightening around worn rifles, boots pressing into dust that seems to rise in anticipation of conflict churning on the horizon. A horizon already stained with uncertainty and the echo of past battles. In Tehran, leaders respond with fiery rhetoric, voices firm and unyielding, declaring readiness and resolve as crowds gather in squares with flags raised high, the sound of chanting rising like a storm, gathering strength and speed. Across homes on both sides, families sit in silence around flickering television sets, eyes searching the faces of officials for some scrap of reassurance that never quite arrives, while mothers hold their children closer, fingers brushing hair as if touch alone could offer protection from forces far beyond their reach. Markets grow quieter as rumors sweep through narrow stalls and shaded alleys, the scent of spices mixing with whispered fears of shortages, displacement, and the unknown. Diplomats shuffle papers across polished tables, their brows furrowed as they attempt to predict the unpredictable, crafting statements that attempt to soothe global concern while privately acknowledging the explosive consequences looming ahead. Oil markets twitch nervously, traders reading every word as if it holds the fate of economies stretched across continents, their screens blinking data like feverish heartbeats in dim financial hubs. Journalists scramble for angles and access, their pens and cameras capturing the charged expressions of officials, sending footage to newsrooms where editors rush to shape narratives that will ripple across front pages and broadcast airwaves. The desert wind sweeps across borderlands where soldiers stand waiting, their thoughts drifting to families and futures shadowed by uncertainty, yet anchored by duty and identity, forged in the rhythms of land and loyalty. Artillery crews inspect steel cannons that glint beneath a blazing sun, machines cold to the touch, yet humming with potential violence as commanders walk the lines, issuing precise orders in clipped tones meant to steady nerves. Scholars and analysts debate motivations and consequences in hushed university halls, mapping centuries of geopolitical tension onto chalkboards filled with arrows and names that weave the story of empires rising and falling across ancient soil. Observers abroad watch this unfolding escalation with dread and resignation echoing.